Day 20. In the last 24 hours, Israel has assassinated 3 of Iran's most senior officials. Tonight, confirmed, Iran's intelligence minister Esmail Khatib is dead, killed in an Israeli precision strike on Tehran. This comes just hours after the killings of Ali Larijani and Basij commander Gholamreza Soleimani. 3 assassinations in one day, and Israel has now granted its military standing authorization to kill any Iranian official, without case-by-case approval. Iran has responded by firing cluster bombs at Tel Aviv, killing 2 people. The United States has dropped 5,000-pound bunker busters on Hormuz missile sites. 6 American service members are dead after an aircraft crashed in Iraq. And the IRGC has issued evacuation warnings near energy facilities in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE. This is day 20, and it is unlike anything we have seen so far. Subscribe and hit the notification bell right now. 3 senior Iranian officials killed in one day. This is the fastest escalation since this war began 20 days ago. You cannot afford to miss what happens next. Let us start with the 3rd assassination. Iran's intelligence minister Esmail Khatib was killed overnight in a targeted Israeli strike in Tehran. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian confirmed it publicly, calling it a, quote, cowardly assassination. Khatib was not just a bureaucrat. He was a trusted figure close to Iran's new supreme leader Mojtaba Khamenei, a seminary graduate from Qom with the religious title Proof of Islam, one of the highest designations in the country. He had extensive operational ties across the entire Iranian intelligence apparatus. His death follows the killings of Ali Larijani, Iran's security chief and former nuclear negotiator, and Gholamreza Soleimani, commander of the Basij paramilitary force. 3 of the most consequential figures in the Iranian national security structure, gone in 24 hours. This is a systematic, deliberate decapitation of the Iranian state. And here is what makes today categorically different from every previous day of this war. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz announced that he and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have granted their military, quote, standing authorization to eliminate senior Iranian officials without case-by-case approval. Previously, every targeted killing required direct sign-off from the top of the Israeli government. That requirement is gone. Israeli special operations and air assets now have a pre-authorized kill list and the operational freedom to act on it at any time. Simultaneously, the United States State Department announced a $10 million reward for information leading to the capture or killing of Iran's new supreme leader and other senior officials. The message being sent is unmistakable. No Iranian official at any level is safe anywhere in the country. Iran's response came fast and it crossed a significant line. Iran fired cluster munitions at Tel Aviv, the first use of cluster bombs in this entire conflict. 2 people were killed. Dozens more were wounded. Cluster munitions are internationally banned by more than 100 countries under the Convention on Cluster Munitions because of the indiscriminate harm they cause to civilians. The bomblets scatter over a wide area and unexploded submunitions can kill people for years after the attack. Iran is not a signatory to that convention, but its use of cluster bombs against a civilian population center marks a major and deliberate escalation in targeting methods. Iran's army chief explicitly stated the attacks were direct retaliation for the assassination of the 3 senior officials. The United States Central Command confirmed today that it dropped multiple 5,000-pound deep penetrator munitions, bunker busters, on hardened Iranian missile sites along the Strait of Hormuz coast. The specific targets were anti-ship cruise missile batteries that Iran has positioned to threaten international commercial shipping in the strait. These are not ordinary bombs. 5,000-pound bunker busters are among the heaviest non-nuclear munitions in the American arsenal, designed to penetrate deep underground facilities before detonating. CENTCOM described the strikes as part of an ongoing effort to, quote, ensure freedom of navigation in international waters. This is the heaviest single-day U.S. strike on Hormuz infrastructure of the entire war. In Lebanon, Israel conducted a devastating overnight wave of airstrikes across Beirut and the south of the country. The most significant strike flattened a building in Beirut's Bashura neighborhood. Israel stated the target was Hezbollah's financial operations infrastructure. 10 people were killed in Beirut alone, 27 more wounded. Israeli strikes also hit the southern port city of Tyre and multiple locations in the Bekaa Valley. Lebanon's cumulative death toll since March 2nd has now reached 922, including 111 children. More than 800,000 Lebanese civilians have been displaced from their homes. The most alarming development outside of Iran tonight may be this. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps issued public evacuation warnings for residents living near energy facilities in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. Let that land for a moment. Iran is publicly warning civilians to leave the areas around Saudi Aramco oil infrastructure, Qatari LNG terminals, and UAE oil facilities. This is not ambiguous. The IRGC is signaling a potential imminent strike on Gulf energy infrastructure. Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE all reported intercepting drones and missiles tonight. If Iran strikes Gulf oil infrastructure, if Aramco fields or Qatar's LNG terminals take direct hits, global oil prices would spike to levels we have never seen in recorded history. In Iraq, 6 United States service members were killed when a military aircraft crashed. The Pentagon confirmed the deaths and initiated a dignified transfer ceremony at Dover Air Force Base. The cause of the crash is under investigation, but the incident occurred in a combat environment where Iran-backed militia groups have been conducting ongoing attacks against American forces. Separately, powerful explosions were reported near the United States Embassy compound in Baghdad, believed to be the work of those same militia groups retaliating for the assassinations of the Iranian officials. The deaths in Iraq bring total confirmed American military fatalities in this conflict to at least 13, with 8 others severely injured. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard today delivered what may be the most consequential intelligence assessment of this entire conflict. She said, and I want to be precise, that, quote, the regime in Iran appears intact but largely degraded due to attacks on leadership. Read that carefully. After 20 days of the most intensive American bombing campaign since Iraq in 2003, after 3 senior official assassinations in one day, after thousands of air sorties, the United States intelligence community's official assessment is that the Iranian government has not collapsed. It is degraded, but it is intact. The Islamic Republic is still functioning, and it is still retaliating. That assessment has enormous implications for how long this war will last and what it will ultimately take to achieve American objectives. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky sounded an alarm today that has nothing to do with Ukraine, and everything to do with this war. He warned that the United States is now running dangerously low on Patriot air defense missiles because of consumption rates in the Middle East. Here is the number that explains the crisis. The United States produces approximately 65 Patriot missiles per month. On the very first day of this war, February 28th, 803 Patriot missiles were fired in a single day. That is over 12 months of American production capacity consumed in one 24-hour period. The United States cannot replenish its missile stocks fast enough to sustain this war at its current intensity level. This is a strategic vulnerability that Iran's military planners are certainly aware of. The confirmed numbers from day 20. Iran. At least 1,444 killed since February 28th. More than 18,500 injured. Lebanon. 922 confirmed dead, including 111 children. Over 2,200 wounded. Israel. 2 killed in tonight's Tel Aviv cluster bomb attack. 16 total since the war began. United States military. At least 13 confirmed killed. 8 severely injured. Gulf states. Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE all reported successful interceptions of drones and missiles tonight. Total Iranian officials assassinated. 5 in 20 days. With the Strait of Hormuz effectively closed, only 90 ships crossing despite the waterway historically handling 21 million barrels of oil per day, global energy markets are in crisis. Oil prices have surged to levels not seen since the 2008 financial crash. The International Monetary Fund has now formally activated emergency recession protocols. Global wheat prices are up over 30% since February 28th. Shipping insurance for vessels anywhere in the Persian Gulf has become effectively prohibitive. And with the IRGC's evacuation warnings around Gulf energy infrastructure tonight, energy traders are pricing in the possibility of direct strikes on Saudi and Qatari production capacity, a scenario that would be catastrophic for the global economy. 5 things to watch in the next 24 to 72 hours. 1. Will Iran follow through on the IRGC's threat and strike Saudi or Qatari energy infrastructure? If it does, this war enters an entirely new phase. 2. With Israel's standing kill authorization now active, who is next on the target list? And will Iran attempt to move its remaining senior officials into hardened or hidden locations? 3. Will the U.S. continue bunker-buster strikes on Hormuz missile sites? And will Iran respond by attempting to sink an American naval vessel? 4. How does the United States replenish Patriot missile stocks fast enough to sustain Israel's air defenses with only 65 missiles produced per month? And 5. The Gabbard assessment said the Iranian regime is intact. Does that mean the United States needs to dramatically escalate or accept a negotiated outcome? Day 20. 3 Iranian officials killed in 24 hours. Cluster bombs on Tel Aviv. Bunker busters on Hormuz. 6 Americans dead in Iraq. And evacuation warnings around Gulf oil infrastructure. If you are watching this and you are not subscribed, do it now. Share this video. The people around you need to understand what is